Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are. I hope that it is a lovely time where you are. I hope that it is a lovely start to your day. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and we have lots to share here. Lots of love. Yes, love without bounds is here with us on Storytime, and this one is an intersectionalized book about families, and it is written by Drs. CHOI Johnson, LATOYA Cancel, and CAROLYN CHOI, and it is illustrated by Ashley SEIL Smith. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. And this one is published by DOTTIR Press out there in New York. Thank you so much for joining in today. And of course, a big thank you as well to DOTTIR Press, who do so much work to uplift many different kinds of voices. And and they bring us this one today. So thank you to them, DOTTIR Press. And of course, thank you to the CLC Collection, as it is known, Dr. CHOI Johnson, Dr. LATOYA Cancel, and Dr. CAROLYN CHOI. Thank you for bringing us this one here to Storytime. So get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, as this one will be coming up very, very shortly. Thank you so much for joining in today. A powerful book, an important book to read, and I cannot wait to share. Yes, if you missed the launch when the authors were here with us on Storytime, please go back to the Storytime archives and just look up Love Without Bounds, and you will find that conversation, powerful conversation indeed. And we have brought it back, rebroadcast it since then. But please do check it out. I encourage you to do so. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And as always, glad to be here with you. Glad to spend the time together. And I hope that you are well wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Out here in Oakland, mild weather, actually mild, but you will need a jacket. You will need a jacket in the morning, and then later on, I think the layers might need to come off. But it is some good weather that we're having right now. How is it where you are? I hope that the weather is kind to you. I hope it is exactly what you want. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, if you're joining in later on for the recordings, well, let us know still that you are here so we can say hi to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story. Well, good morning to you, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Megan and Ari will join in later. Well, thank you so much. And of course, when you're here later with us, Megan and Ari, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that you have had a lovely day so far. And I hope that everything is going just as planned. Thank you so much for joining in, and Kathy, of course, too, saying hi to Luna out there with you, and to everybody else that is joining us later on for the recordings. Well, thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Thank you for making this community an accepting community, a community that we all love, and of course, that we all feel belonging. Thank you, too. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Coming up very shortly, Love Without Bounds, an intersectionalized book about families. It is written by Dr. Chelsea Johnson, Dr. LATOYA Canso, and Dr. CAROLYN CHOI. And it is illustrated by Ashley Sayers Smith and published, and we're reading it with their permission here, of course, DOTTIR Press out there in New York. Jennifer Baumgartner, thank you so much for the amazing work that you are doing. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Please get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, as we'll be getting started with our book very shortly after this short break. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I'll catch you on the other side.
You're watching Storytime with Maple and Cypress. Just kidding. You're watching Storytime with Mr. LaMotta.
If that doesn't make you laugh today, well, I don't know what will. Thank you so much, Ari. Thank you indeed. And I hope that you're having a wonderful time out there in Kentucky. Thank you for being here with us. Love Without Bounds, an intersectionalized book about families. Doctors Chelsea Johnson, LATOYA Canso, and CAROLYN CHOI wrote this one, and it is illustrated by Ashley Sayers Smith, and we're reading it with permission of the publishers, DOTTIR Press. Do check it out at your local library, of course, or wherever else that you find books. And those beautiful end papers. I want this wallpaper. I want this as wallpaper everywhere. It's beautiful, isn't it? All right. Love Without Bounds, an intersectionalized book about families. Written by Dr. Chelsea Johnson, Dr. LATOYA Canso, and Dr. CAROLYN CHOI. And it is illustrated by Ashley Sayers Smith and published by DOTTIR Press in New York. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And I'll start off, first of all, by reading a letter to the readers, and then we'll go into our book. And it says, "Dear readers, or dear relatives, since Love Without Bounds, an intersectionalized book about families, celebrates the people we love and who love us. Since there is no single type of family that is normal or best, we use the word families instead of family to honor all the people who are important to us throughout our lives, as well as the infinite forms families take around the world. In these pages, you will meet families created by chance and choice. You will meet families of many sizes, cultures, and circumstances. Some families spend time together every day, while other families find ways to love each other across distance and time. Love makes a family, and yet social factors like identity, culture, and governments shape how family members show and experience love. Prisons, unjust laws, and national borders can separate parents from their children and families from their communities. Stigma and stereotypes can make people feel ashamed about who and how they love. Love Without Bounds asks that we respect other people's families as much as we do our own. After all, as people who share space on this earth, we are all in relation to one another all the time. We can be each other's chosen family by pushing for changes in our social systems to honor what we know to be true. Love is love, and loving without bounds is a revolutionary act. With love, we can make room for all. From our family to yours. Dr. Chelsea Johnson, Dr. LATOYA Canso, and Dr. CAROLYN CHOI. I just thought we should start with that as we go into our book. A very, very important and powerful letter there too. This book is about your peeps, your crew, your folks, your kin, your chosen few. Everyone has a family, but each is special, as you will see. Yours and hers, and his and theirs. Some big old groups, some tiny pairs. No matter the size or situation, it's love that serves as the foundation. Some families include more than a few. Some families are just teams of two. Grown-ups and kids, moms and dads, all families are lovely if love's what you add. My fam is mom, mama, and me. We're a nuclear family. Mom sings me songs. Mama tags me in. I feel their love through the I feel their love through the time we spend. Aw, yes. My fam is mom, mama, and me. We're a nuclear family. Mom sings me songs. Mama tags me in. I feel their love through the time we spend. Our dearly beloveds have gathered today to witness my parents' wedding. My wise abuela, my sneaky pet cat, my out-of-town auntie, so fly in her hat. Oh, it is a cool hat indeed. Friends who hug and primas who play, siblings, uncles, and neighbors, hooray! A joyous feast in celebration of a family on the cusp of creation. The beat of the music, laughter surrounds. Yeah. We are a family. We love without bounds. Yeah. We are a family. We love without bounds. My folks told me the coolest thing. My folks told me the coolest thing. Next year, I will have a new sibling. Wow, congratulations. What will they like? How will they be? Will everything change when it's not just me? One thing's for sure, I will do my part and share the love that's in my heart. And when the baby starts to grow, I will teach them everything I know. Through thick and thin, through lows and highs, siblings can be the best allies. Yeah. My sis was born in the Midwest, but my life started with a quest. Just like a vine joining a tree, I was adopted into my family. After praying and waiting and lots of wishing, they welcomed me home. The peace they had been missing. Two family trees, one history. My story is what makes me, me. Two family trees, one history. My story is what makes me, me. After praying and waiting and lots of wishing, they welcomed me home. The peace they'd been missing. Yeah. In my loving family, two legacies created. When flower buds start to appear, our freedom holidays are here. A cedar marks the start of spring. And on Juneteenth, we proudly sing, lift every voice and sing, to earth and heaven ring. Yeah. And on Juneteenth, we proudly sing over barriers that made us hurt and hide to this place where we can love with pride. Lift every voice and sing. To earth and heaven ring. With each generation, our love compounds. We are a family. We love without bounds. My Nene is just an ocean away, in a place I'd love to visit one day. When the sun sets here for grandma and me, it's tomorrow across the big blue sea. Yeah. Ding dong goes the sound of our video chat. We goof off and giggle in our matching hats. Some people might think that if a parent is gone, their love and care has also moved on. But the biggest love a parent can give is a sacrifice so their family can live. They deployed my dad to a faraway place, miles from our home here on the base. We watch the news both day and night. I whisper, Daddy, I hope you're all right. We've got each other, but my whole family misses the warmth of his hugs, the itch of his kisses. We march and pray for the wars to cease so all of our families can live in peace. Congratulations, come take your degree. You've graduated from Ally Academy. So I move my tassel from left to right, throw my hat in the air and smile bright. A bus ride away in a distant town, a big part of my world jumps up and down. When I hear his voice, I wipe a tear. Today was perfect, except I wish Dad was here. He's my biggest cheerleader, and bottom line, this achievement is his as much as it's mine. Some families like mine change over time. When my dads got married, our families combined. My bonus dad came with kids of his own. Who would have thought I would miss playing alone? But we circle around to share holiday fun, giving time and getting closer together as one. Families evolve. Who we love can too. We cherish the old and welcome the new. Yeah. Some families like mine change over time. When my dads got married, our families combined. My bonus dad came with kids of his own. Who would have thought I would miss playing alone? But we circle around to share holiday fun, giving time, getting closer together as one. Families evolve. Who we love can too. We cherish the old and welcome the new. How has your family changed? School days with mom, weekends with dad. My parents made the best choice they had. When they split, everything changed. In fact, my entire life rearranged. Boxes and toys, new apartments and houses, new roofs, new schools, and even new spouses. but in choosing themselves, they both chose me. We will always be a family. Sometimes the family we are born into doesn't make us feel how we want to. In these moments, our closest friends step in and help our hearts to mend. A pen pal, a teammate, a snuggly pup, those who care for you and build you up. Yes, those are exactly the people we want. There's so much of life we can't control, and our chosen family can make us whole. Yeah, so true. Sometimes the family we're born into doesn't make us feel how we want to. In these moments, our closest friends step in and help our hearts to mend. A pen pal, a teammate, a snuggly pup, those who care for you and build you up. There is so much of life we can't control, and our chosen family can make us whole. There are times we must tell our loved ones goodbye, and often too early, their souls meet in the sky. We honor the moments we spent together. Through our memories, they live on forever. With a keepsake or a walk to their resting place, we remember their love, their laugh, their face. Watching over us each day and night, our ancestors are our guiding light. Yeah, so true. So, what does family really mean? They are the people who love us and make us feel seen. The folks who give us time and care by sharing with us and just being there. A shoulder to lean on, a space to be free. Whoever gives us that is our family. I'll read that one more time. So, what does family really mean? They are the people who love us and make us feel seen. The folks who give us time and care by sharing with us and just being there. A shoulder to lean on, a space to be free. Whoever gives us that is our family. There is no perfect family form. No family ever fits the norm. Although bullies and laws can make us feel shame, every family is important and no two are the same. Yeah. There is no perfect family form. No family ever fits the norm. Although bullies and laws can make us feel shame, every family is important and no two are the same. In faraway places or right next to you, those yet to be born and who've passed on too, growing and changing, together or apart, your family are those who live in your heart. Family are those who live in your heart, growing and changing together or apart, in faraway places or right next to you, those yet to be born and who've passed on too. To the loved ones we miss and to the new kin we found, we are a family. We love without bounds. Yeah. To the loved ones we miss and to the new kin we found, we are a family. We love without bounds. And that is the end of our story for today. There's so much to be covered in here, so much that the book covers. It talks about families, talks about different generations, talks about extended families, talks about the Juneteenth or the Negro anthem. It talks about, adoption and so much more. So if you get this book from your local library, I won't go into that right now, but if you get this book from your local library where you find books, you can read all these bits at the back and just get so much more information. So I encourage you to do that. Next time you're at the library, you know what book to pick up. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And there is one thing too at the end, though, that I will definitely want to point out. And it says, now let's put self-care into practice, right? This book brings up big topics that can provoke big feelings. Perhaps a story reminded you of your own relatives or a friend's family. Honor whatever feelings you had when reading this book. Take a moment to recognize how you feel right now. How can you give yourself the love and care you deserve? So something to think about. Thank you so much for joining in today's story time. And I hope that indeed when you're at the library today or tomorrow or the next day, you think about this book, pick it up, and indeed get to enjoy these powerful lessons, this powerful conversation that we're able to have in this wonderful book. I'll catch you on the other side of this short break. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Chang, co-author of Bobo Loves Dumplings, Bobo's Colorful Chinese New Year, and Night Market Rescue. And this is Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Thank you indeed, Charlotte Chang. Night Market Rescue. If you've not read it, please find it at your local library as well. And find the conversation here when Charlotte visited Storytime at storytimewithmrlamada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Lamada on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope that this book spoke to you. It most certainly spoke to me. There's many parts in here, and and it's just so much to think about. And when it mentions, our family who have moved on, our ancestors who've passed on, and just reminds me of so many people that have gone, but are still here, still in my heart. I still love them. And it says there are times we must tell our loved ones goodbye, and often too early. Their souls meet the sky. We honor the moments we spent together. Through our memories, they live on forever. With a keepsake or a walk to their resting place, we remember their love, their laugh, their face, watching over us each day and night. Our ancestors are our guiding light. And today, the ancestor that I will be holding on to as I move throughout my day is my grandma. Grandma Salia. Loved her to bits, and somebody that just taught me so much and just showed me so much love. And so, just appreciating that. And like the book says too, take a moment to think about everything that we've read in here, and a moment to just care for yourself. It says this book brings up big topics that can provoke big feelings. I am feeling some of those big feelings right now. Perhaps a story reminded you of your own relatives or a friend's family. Honor whatever feelings you had when reading this book. Take a moment to recognize how you feel right now. How can you give yourself the love and care you deserve? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate the time that we get to spend together talking about these big topics and indeed sharing the love that we have for each other. Yes, our chosen families, right? Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for being here with us, Kathy, out there in Ohio. Thank you for joining in Storytime. And you say Ari and Megan will be joining us later on out there in Kentucky. Well, thank you so much for being here. Ari and Megan, still sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Good morning to you, April. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I hope your school year is going well. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. You say good morning from April, Jemison, Alicia, and Lindley out there in Orange County, California. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. And always good to see these familiar faces coming back here as well every now and then, dropping in on us here on Storytime Live. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope that you and everybody else are okay definitely thinking of you, and of course, glad that you are here together today. Thank you indeed, and sending you lots of hugs. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. April, Jemison, Alicia, and of course, Lindley. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Good to see you here with us. Good morning to you out there in Harvard, Massachusetts. Marietta Apollonia, thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And of course, we hope Henry and Nick are doing well there too. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. We were reading today Love Without Bounds, an Intersection Allies book about families. And I hope this book speaks to you and has spoken to you today. Thank you so much for joining in. It is written by Doctors Chelsea Johnson, LATOYA Canso, and CAROLYN CHOI, and it is illustrated by Ashley Sale Smith. And we were reading it with permission of the publishers, DOTTIR Press, out there in New York City. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. I hope you enjoyed this one. Powerful topics, big topics, and I hope that they continue to drive you and keep you thinking, and of course help you navigate today. Like the book says, our ancestors are our guiding lights. I hope that indeed you hold on to one today that can drive you through the day. I'm holding on today to my grandma Salia, and just remembering all the beautiful teachings, the food we had together, the laughs that we had together, and those will be carrying me through the day, making my heart strong and just making my heart glad. But talking about hearts, we're back tomorrow. How are we all so connected so strongly? Well, Heartstring is back here on Storytime, written and illustrated by Brooke Boynton Hughes, and this one will be coming to us from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. So please join us tomorrow and let's get to read this one. Yes, definitely one for the heart. All books this week are definitely speaking to our hearts. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with more exciting story, another exciting story, and that is the plan. So everything aligning will be right here, 6 a.m. Pacific time, and of course you can catch the recording at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and you can catch Storytime at any time that is convenient to you. So please remember that. Storytimewithmrlimada.com, Storytime with Mr. Limada on Facebook and YouTube. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime on this lovely Tuesday morning. Lovely out here in Oakland. Lovely here for me. A great start. I hope that it is just that for you as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Much love from me, and I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh. with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be here. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.